How's everyone doing? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world when you're tuned in. Hope you are all doing well. Oh, this music's so calm. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope all is well, wherever you are in your part of the world. We've got Mojo in the chat, sending lots of love. Is able to tune in fully today. We've got Matt. Welcome, Matt. Love the hat in that photo. Very Christmassy, I would say, normally. A huge thanks to everyone tuning in. I just want to put a disclaimer out there straight away. I need you today. I need you to keep me going because my energy is through the floor. Now, for any of you that saw my community post on YouTube or my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter post, I posted it everywhere. The plan for today was we were going to do a quiz because due to popular demand, at the start of lockdown, I did an online quiz every week for 20 weeks. It's amazing how quickly time flew by. And everyone wanted me to keep bring the quizzes back. So I thought, yeah, it'd be good to do a quiz this week. And then as I got to the weekend and I realised I wasn't going to have any time off, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do a quiz, it's got to be done properly. It's not going to happen. And so on Monday, I thought, okay, I need to do a different topic and postpone it. And I thought, what better topic to do than about burnout and the need to unplug. So that is today's topic. But for anyone who's joined and never joined before, welcome. This is Myles Dyer Live. This is here every Wednesday, same time every Wednesday, where we just have a good conversation. They are surrounding topics, but by the end of it, we just chat about whatever. I kickstart things with a bit of housekeeping, talking about, for example, my podcast show, The Quest for Global Empathy, which is a weekly show now. Thanks to the amazing support of you all out there, whether you are patrons or whether you just watch the show and share it, or just join me on Wednesdays like this. It all really, really helps and keeps me going. And today's topic is, as I've mentioned, going to be about burnout. So as I go through the housekeeping, if you're watching, even if you don't want to engage in the chat, but I welcome you to, think about what is it to burn out? Do you burn out? And if so, what do you do to recover? It might just be sleep and eat good food and then rest. But it's also the preemptive measures you take. How do you prevent yourself from burning out? What are the things that you look out for? The triggers maybe that show you that you might be falling down that way. The topics we talk about in this show range not just around mental health, although that's been the theme of the last 2 weeks, but that's been great. It can be about world events, and you can just message me on Instagram, all these platforms, whenever you want me to talk about a particular topic, and then we can bring it here for the following week. So before I get on with the rest of the housekeeping, and Hannah, I'm glad you think it's a perfect topic. Perfect. Mojo is hoping everyone is well. So yeah, say hey in the chat, and if you haven't already, click that like button. We've already had a dislike, so whoever's done the dislike, if you're here, I want you to feel me. I want you to feel the love. And I want you to turn that down, that thumbs down, to a thumbs up. I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. And it's the hat from RuneScape. I used to work with the creators of RuneScape when I worked for a YouTube network. We almost signed them. Is it Jagex? Is that what they're called? Great guys. It was a bit surreal meeting them. I was like, whoa, RuneScape. Also, behind me, there is a package there. This is a package I've spoken about on the show before. I don't know if anyone remembers what I ordered near the start of the year, but it's in there, and I haven't unboxed it fully yet. I'm going to do an Instagram post about it tomorrow. But what's in there is going to actually... I bought it for the background of my studio, and I'm really, really excited. So if we get to 20 thumbs up in this show, I'll do the unboxing, okay? So if you haven't done a thumbs up already... Oh, it's Dean! Dean. Dean is one of the most wonderful human beings I know, and I miss dearly. We tend to only meet when he's having a party at his, because they're amazing. Dean, we need to catch up soon, buddy. What's in the box? Dean might like what's in the box as well. If we can get to... I said 20 likes. 20 likes is going to be a hard push, but we're at 10, so we're halfway there. It is gaming related. It's limited edition related. It's anniversary related. It's related to my childhood hero that's blue and other things as well. Cool. Cracking on with other bits of housekeeping. So, this is a huge one. For anyone that has an interest in mental health, I'm so excited about this. I have spoken often about Professor Paul Gilbert. He is from in Derbyshire. He is the founder of Compassion Focused Therapy and Compassion Focused Therapy. My therapist, who made a massive breakthrough with me about 4 years ago, honestly, out of all the therapy I've done in my life, it was the most groundbreaking and fixed me in so many ways. She was taught by Professor Paul Gilbert. And she teaches a very holistic approach around compassion-focused therapy, mindfulness, and CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. And I got in contact with Professor Paul Gilbert's foundation. I went up to Derby to attend one of the workshops. I got to speak with him. And he was the author of this book, The Compassionate Mind. And he has been like the dream guest for my podcast show. Well, I got an email from his peeps this afternoon. He's coming on the Quest for Global Empathy, and he will be not next Monday's episode, but the Monday after. And honestly, anyone if you've not checked out my podcast already, the Quest for Global Empathy, don't miss that episode, because he is going to just provide just a very human, feely kind of approach, compassionate approach to therapy and methods that we can use on ourselves. Because I've always described a lot of therapy I've had in my life has always been very clinical, in the sense it's very cold, very distant. Whereas compassion-focused therapy, it's about the warmth that you can give yourself and you can give others. So yeah, really, really excited. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to also ask him to do a guided meditation at the end of the of it. So you've not heard of CBT. So cognitive behavioural therapy is a type of therapy where they teach you... Okay, let's take a step back. The way I normally describe it, and this is very simplistic, is I talk about regular therapy, which is where you just talk about your issues, you get it off your chest. It's very transactional. You're on your way. You feel better. Cognitive behavioural therapy is more about teaching you tricks and methods for being in tune with how your brain works, so that when you run into issues again, you know how to get out of it. I do a lot of them on my content, like on Instagram, like the worry tree. I'll quickly go over it again. If you're ever worrying or feeling anxious about something, you ask yourself 2 stages of questions, and this is the worry tree. The first question is, can I do something about it? And if the answer is yes, okay, well, do something about it. But if the answer is no, you should shift your attention onto something else. But when I say if you can do something about it, you should do something about it, it's not that easy, is it? So there's a second question, which is, can you do something about it now? And if the answer is yes, okay, well then do something about it now. If the answer is no, again, like write it down in a diary and then shift your focus onto other things. Really, really, really important. A legit convo you had with your therapist yesterday. Well, there we go. See, CBT is very prevalent and things like that. So yeah, Professor Paul Gilbert. Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait. Like, this guy changed my life, and something I did when I went up to the workshop that they invited me to, it was so good that I got invited to Paul's house on the first night. His daughter runs the workshops, and I went for dinner, and there I was drinking red wine with a guy that's a hero of mine, basically, just because he's had such an impact. But my therapist had done so much for me as well. What I did was I held up my camera and I got him to record a video message for my therapist. Now, this was after I'd finished therapy, so I wasn't going back, but I emailed it to my therapist, and it's him going, hey Marta, her name was Marta, it's Paul here, very casual, you know. I'm here in Derby with Myles, who was telling me about all the amazing stuff that you've taught him about compassion focused therapy, how much you've helped him. And so I just wanted to say, I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great work you do. And I remember my therapist took a while to get back to me, and she said it was because she couldn't find the words to express what an incredible gift it was. And for me, that is kind of like, I talk about gratitude and the cycle of gratitude, and how that I always try and express my appreciation for people in the moment. I don't wait until, it's further down the line. And, that's an act of compassion. And it makes me feel warm knowing that it was a good act to do, and it will hopefully inspire her to keep on doing it. No worries at all. No worries at all. Dean says, my early therapy has covered something similar. Felt like I'd been handed a bunch of new tools, but the hardest thing was actually applying them in the moment. Game changer once I got there. Totally is. Because it's like when we talk about mental health generally, that when it comes to fitness, I mean, okay, I'll give an example. Every once in a blue moon, I will get a pain in the small of my back. And it's where I've not been going for walks, I've not been stretching, I've been sitting down gaming a lot. And sometimes it can hurt so much that I can't really walk around much. And the NHS gives you these guides of here are back exercises you do. But it's not to be done once you've got the back pain. It's to be done on a regular basis to prevent you getting to that stage. And, I will do the exercises, and then eventually I'll let it slip. And then one day my back will hurt again. I'll go, I should have kept doing it. And it's the same with mental health. It's it's learning these tricks and how it works so you don't go down that slippery slope. And yeah, it's exactly as you say, Dean. And still work in progress. Man, we are all works in progress. And it's about sharing our experiences, because what works for someone might not work for someone else completely, but there might be an essence there that they go, okay, well, I identify with that experience of what you've gone through, or that technique you've used has been quite useful. I studied psychology at university, and I've mentioned this lots before. I did an Instagram reel on it called... you could watch this video, but should you? And it's one of my favourite tips to give people. Replace the word should with could. Because language, we always think it's the way we communicate with others, but 80-90% is actually how we communicate with ourselves. So the words that we use actually change the way we think. And the amount of times I go, I should do that, I should do this, it gives you added pressure. And it means that when you complete a task, you don't feel that great about it. It's more relief. You're sort of doing it from the defensive because you're like, well, I did it because I had to. Whereas if you change the word to could, it gives you a sense of autonomy. So even if you have a deadline for something, which you technically should be doing, it's still a choice. And that's what I say. Everything is a choice. And what it means is once you get it done, you feel like you can give yourself more credit. You can feel better for it. Slightly separate question. Do I still play Grand Theft Auto? I haven't played it for a while. I play a lot of PlayStation VR at the moment, especially with fitness stuff. My PS5 died at the weekend. I got it fixed, and then I've got a story to tell how I cut my finger when I got it fixed. I'm the same too. I put too much pressure on myself all the time. That's it. So much is like imposed on us. Like, so much of our anxiety is like our reaction to a world. It's what we impose. I had the most debilitating anxiety. It's one of the reasons I deleted Twitter. That's why I stepped away from a lot of social media. I got in some really dark places about, I'm going to say 5-6 years ago. I actually spoke about it on my last podcast episode with Matt Callanan, who's a success and confidence coach. And I talked about how when I did the last Stick Aid, which was the charity 24-hour live show I used to, when I did the final one, I had a it wasn't a total flop, but it was like, it put me in debt, and there was a lot of issues with it. And I sort of went through this massive identity crisis, and then I had my head injury, and then everything in my life just dissipated, and I had to rebuild everything. And that's why I'm so appreciative for everyone that's tuned in today, because I'm trying to turn this oil tanker around of my channel and just trying to get back into the flow of it. And, you know, every time I do one of these, I'm losing more subscribers than I'm gaining. But I'm sticking with it, because in the long run, it will eventually swap around. I also relate with gaming pain to Death Stranding. Got my shoulder blades in a chokehold that I may never recover from, dude. Death Stranding, I love it. I can't wait to give the director's cut a go. Dude, you need to get PlayStation VR, man, if you haven't already, and we need to play it. Oh, man, I could talk to you forever about all these games I've got on it. So many great co-op games. Right. We are going to... And that means a lot. It honestly, it always means a lot. I'm incredibly grateful for everyone here. Click that like button if you haven't already. I am going to go into the box in just a moment, regardless of hitting 20, because I'm not waiting. But before we do, I'm just going to give you this update. So this is on my Patreon, patreon.com/Myles Dyer. This post is only for patrons because it has links on it that take you to the live streams. So those that are patrons with the backstage pass, which is like $5 a month, it means that you get to watch me do the interviews live. They're like 3-hour broadcast sessions. It's like half an hour setting up, 2 hours with the guest, and then if we have time at the end, I take your questions for the guests. So tomorrow, I am interviewing Jennifer White. She's been on TV quite a lot lately. She works for PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. She's their UK media and communications manager. She is shit hot. Like, I'll give you one example, and this is what really blew me away. Because you know how I like to critique the media and the way that the media conducts itself or doesn't conduct itself properly. She was on Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan, and the topic was about how we shouldn't use animals as insults like pigs and that, because pigs are actually quite smart and stuff like that. And Piers Morgan said something along the lines of, have you got your priorities right? You're talking about, you know, us not calling people pigs or using it negatively when we've got knife crime and stuff like that. And Jennifer said, well, it's interesting you say that, Piers, because your producer called me and asked me to come on this show to talk about this issue. So if you have an issue with why we're talking about this, that's your producer's fault, not mine. And I was like, amazing. Because that's what happens so much of the time in the media, is they bring people on and go, why are we talking about this? You know, these people are so out of touch. And she's just really, really good. And I'm looking forward to having a great conversation. I'm going to be definitely asking them about a lot of misconceptions about PETA. I feel they've often seen as just all about shock value when it comes to animals and stuff like that. Okay, Paul Gilbert. Man, the OG. So by the way, these come out every Monday. So this Jennifer one will come out next Monday, but I'm filming it tomorrow at 3:00 in the afternoon in the UK, which will be 7 in the morning if you're on the West Coast in the US. Paul Gilbert, that's going to be next Tuesday. And that's going to be at 2:00 in the afternoon, my time, 6:00 in the morning if you're on the West Coast. Then Luria Petrucci, the following Tuesday. She is the founder of Live Streaming Pros. She taught me so much about building this studio. She's an old school YouTuber as well. Was very much in the tech scene and podcasting in the early days. I adore her dearly, and I just look forward to having a good conversation with her. And then the next guest is TBC. I've got a lot of guests coming on, but we are going to... I'm just getting details on when they're free. And Dean, if you're still there, man, Dean, I would love you to come on the podcast sometime if you're up for it, dude. No pressure though, if you don't want to. I'm not asking you for a commitment on here now. But yeah, so if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Myles Dyer. There are 3 tiers. Quest bearer, so for as little as $1 a month, £1 a month. The backstage pass, so this is what allows you to watch them live. And then founding supporter. This is what gets you the shirt that says founding supporter on it. And then on the back, it's got the Quest for Global Empathy logo. And as I've always said, if you can't support it financially, it's totally cool. Just watching it. If you've got Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, just search Quest for Empathy or the Quest for Global Empathy and just follow and just, have a listen. You might not, want to listen to everyone. It might be only if there's a certain guest on it. But as I said, my last guest was Matt Callanan, who is a success and confidence coach. Had an amazing convo with him. The week before that was Mike Figueredo, who is a progressive left-wing talk show host of the Humanist Report in the US. So we talked a lot about transatlantic politics. The week before that was Owen Eastwood. He coached the England Euro 2020 team. And he wrote a book called Belonging, the Ancient Code of Togetherness. And he's all about teaching empathy and compassion in teams, which is why you see a lot of it with Gareth Southgate and the way they talk about compassion and unity in teams. That was a really cool conversation. And then before that was my friend Ana Ribeiro from Brazil, who is a virtual reality developer who develops a lot of quirky games, one called Pixel Ripped, which is where in a VR game you're playing it's called the Game Kid, or Game Kid. It's like a Game Boy spoof. So you're playing a Game Boy in a VR, so it's a game in a game, and you've got to complete the level while in class at school without the teacher seeing you. So yeah, lots of great stuff there. I know we haven't even got to the main topic of the day yet, but we'll get there. And I'm feeling a lot more energetic now, so I appreciate that. And just to say, if anyone has any questions or anything you want to ask throughout this, you can. This is all just conversational. It's just a good get-together every week. But I think it's time to look at what's in the box. Should we see what's in the box? Should we? Yeah. This broadcast system has all these sound effects and I never use them. What's this one? Okay, interesting. This is the problem is I don't know if this will let me go long enough. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So my childhood hero is Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's the 30th anniversary. On my stairs in my home, I've got all the original gaming posters. And I think my parents told me they've just found my Master System. So I ordered the 30th anniversary. I love that there are some people that aren't into gaming and are just going to be I honestly couldn't give a shit. I've asked you to open the box and I really couldn't care. I couldn't give a fuck. But, 30th. It's called a diorama, which, to be honest, so I've never been someone that gets collectibles. I always look at people, my friends and that, who are gamers, and they always have cool stuff in the background. I'm starting to collect stuff. I got a mini Day of the Tentacle that was 3D printed. My brother made it. Got my friend Anna's Pixel Rip game. Got a little Bernie Sanders, Tommy Wiseau, Fracked, that's the VR game that I won in a competition, and obviously got the PlayStation thing and stuff like this. Classy, I know, right? Well, we're going to open it. We're going to open it now. And I'm going to put it in the background. I am going to do it as an Instagram post tomorrow, so I'll just have to like hold the empty box. Oh man, I hate it when they've got these sort of like circular sticky things, because I always just want to rip through it. Okay, Charlotte, thank you. So Charlotte just said, and hey Charlotte, welcome. I'm not a gamer, but it looks pretty fun. Pretty fun. That's it. That's what it's about. Well, no, for me, it's just like, oh, man, Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, loved it growing up, but the last Sonic game I loved was Sonic Mania, which has a really cool story behind it. Basically, the people that used to make like mobile phone versions of the classic Sonic games, they used to like make their own levels and that. And so Sega said, hey, do you want to like pitch to us your own game? And so they made their own game, and they actually got commissioned. And so Sonic Mania was like a 2D Sonic game that was made, as the creator of Sonic said, by the fans. Mania, by the fans, for the fans. And also, wow, your first Sonic games were the adventure games. Man, see, that was way after me. I forget how youthful Dean is. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, like the Master System, Mega Drive were my first consoles, and like when everyone always goes on about Mario, and you know what, Mario is totally kick-ass. Like I'm not one of these people that are like, I have a favourite, but I don't say the other shit. It's like with Xbox. I think what Xbox are doing are amazing, but I'm definitely a PlayStation person. There's a lot of amazing Mario games, and I'd love to have a Nintendo Switch as well. But for me, I've always wished Sonic got more love. Oh, wow. Here we go. Jeez, this is huge. This is when I drop it, it breaks. Okay. It's by God, that smells strong. It's by Numbskull. Do Numbskull do the no, that's Skull Candy. I was like, do they do headphones? Okay. This is effing awesome. I love it. Oh my god, I didn't even see in the tree. It's got the special ability. Oh. I love it. Absolutely love it. It is really cool. The thing is, whenever you get these, you always worry they're going to be tiny and not that great. But yeah, it does. So let's see how it looks in the background. 1 second, guys. It's how I lay everything down. I mean, it's all background dressing, so it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, to be honest, maybe one day I'll have a table a bit closer. I don't know. I'm still working out this whole studio thing. Like, I've never been a streamer, like a gaming streamer at a desk. So I'm still learning it, but it's cool. I'm super happy with it. I'll work out the ordering at a later time. Right, just reading what everyone's saying. That does look sick, though. Look at that. Look at that. Spyro. I actually have the Spyro PlayStation 1 disc. And then I bought the remake. One of the first games I ever played was the Back to the Future game on Sega. That was a cool game. I remember playing Spider-Man, a 2D Spider-Man game. Oh man, the Mario Sonic argument was a playground classic. There were no winners really. Yeah, I do feel. Well, obviously Nintendo. It was always the tragedy that Sega sort of fell through, and then Did Sega get bought by Nintendo, or did they just go into syndication with them? I know, like, Sonic just became a part of the Nintendo family in many ways. But yeah. You grew up with the Master System. Cable was about 1 meter long. So, I think I mentioned this before. I'm going to read the rest of the comments below, by the way. I just wanted to, oh, there you go, Spyro 3. I've just started playing Spyro 3, so I only played the original Spyro, and then when the remakes came out, I played the first one again, and then the second. I was really impressed how smoother the second game was. I've just started the third, but I've not got back to it. But I have just got Alex Kidd, Miracle World, the DX remake, and you press a button, it goes to the original graphics, because that game was built into the Master System console, which blew my mind. But what I was going to show you was there was this whole conversation on Twitter of like, what was your console journey? And when I was looking at mine, I remembered, I think it was between the Master System and the Mega Drive. It was the Sega. It was by Tyco. It's called the Forgotten Sega Console Video Driver. Check this out. Video Driver. This was it. This is going to sound crazy, right? So, it was a VHS. Right, so what you did was you had a VHS, and it was of this, like, car, like first person of a car on a road. And then you had this little device that you put in front of your television with a little red car on it. And then, this seems like something that Nintendo would do with the Switch these days, but this was in the 90s, like early 90s. And then you had this little steering wheel. And so what you did was you played the VHS. And as you play the VHS and you're like driving, the car you control with the steering wheel is going left and right. So you're having to dodge the cars on the road that you're in. And you have a little score on the dashboard there that starts at 100 and it goes down, I think, the more you hit. And so there was like, you're not controlling the level. You were playing along with a VHS. And let me see if I can find a video of it. Sega Video Driver. Here we go. Yeah.
This episode is supported by Interactive Experience.
This is, oh man, this is it. Is he actually going to play it? Oh, yeah, those were the batteries they used. Oh, my goodness. Heavy duty. Love it. So that was they've actually taken it apart. Yeah, here we go. So this is how it works. Oh, he's put a new truck on it. That's amazing. So yeah, the VHS would play it, and you were chasing this car throughout it, this sports car. Look how small the steering wheel is. Oh, it was so good. And yeah, you would just race after it. I had so much joy as a kid playing this. Nostalgia, pure nostalgia. Does anyone remember this? Probably not. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, memories. Oh yeah, it gets. Oh, I do remember. Oh man, proper crazy seeing that stuff. Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was like a driving simulator, but it was just a VHS that you drove along to. Hi everyone who's just joined. Dean, is Dean just saying that now just so I don't feel alone? I've played it. Oh man, it was so good. So good. Right. Okay, guys. So today's topic was going to be about burnout, and not the driving game. Speaking of driving games, burnout. That would have been the best segue. Oh well. I was going to do a quiz this week, and I've been so... Oh, here we go. Everyone said they played it. Everyone just say they've played it. Yeah, cool. Great. Everyone's played it. We get it. All right, I don't feel so special now. Okay. Exactly. I didn't think about it until I was looking about it, and I totally forgot it was a Sega thing, and it was Tyco that obviously does a lot. Burnout 3. See, I can't remember the last Burnout game. Anyway, gaming aside, we're talking about burnout and just unplugging. And kind of what we were talking about earlier when Dean was mentioning about, cognitive behavioral therapy, you learn these tricks, and sometimes, you can say, okay, that makes sense, that's what I need to do. But then when you get into those ruts, it can be quite difficult to implement. It's kind of like mental quicksand, that once you start sinking, you start panicking, and that's when things can get worse and worse. With burnout, And actually, this is something I want to do an Instagram reel on, or an actual YouTube video on, when it comes to burnout. Is the biggest lesson, and I'm sure Dean will relate with this, actually, being a fellow YouTuber, is when it comes to burnout, we normally, I say we, I'm getting you involved in this, but we always think that burnout is when you're stressed, doing work that's really tough and that, is strenuous on the brain. And therefore we associate it with doing jobs, things that you don't really enjoy. And what happened a lot to me in my 20s with YouTube was I would burn out a lot because I was doing things I loved. And because I loved doing them, I didn't see them as work. I therefore didn't see them as stressful. I just assumed I could keep doing it, making videos each day. I remember when internet wasn't as good, I would finish editing a video at like 11 o'clock at night. I'd press export, I'd go to bed, set my alarm for like an hour to then come back and check it. Oh no, I need to do another export, go set the alarm. And I did that when I was uploading videos as well. And then the video would go up at like 4 a.m. And so just constantly plowing through with content creation. But because I enjoyed it, I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then you would just like, I would hit these walls where I was like, oh wow, I feel like shit. I need to just like rest it off. But that's fine. I can rest it off, recharge, and then go back to where I was. I think now in my 30s, I definitely think a lot differently about it. And for me, that's a massive lesson when it comes to burnout, is you can burn out doing things that you enjoy. And actually, I think that's where most of the risk is. Because when you enjoy it, you don't treat it as seriously, when things actually can be just as strenuous on your brain. And so taking a break, we normally associate with doing something that you enjoy. But if what you're doing is what you enjoy, you might go, I don't need to take a break because I can just keep doing this. But actually having a gear change, something I need to do a lot more is, I always used to love watching movies and TV shows. I don't do it at all now. I just game when I'm relaxing. I need to get used to putting on a movie and not on my phone at the same time. Have a blanket, maybe have some popcorn, and just sit and watch it and just chill. I need to do that. I don't do it anymore. So yeah, that's definitely something I need to think about. Hey Naj, hope you are well. Thanks for joining. Welcome. I burned out from YouTube too many times. I'd have periods of filming, editing, scheduling like 10 to 20 videos at a time. Then other times I couldn't get out one. I've always struggled with it. It is a massive issue for creators, especially if you work individually. If you're in a team, you can sort of allocate stuff, but then there's pressures of like, oh, well, they're doing this, so I don't want to let them down. And so you push on with it. But going back to the thing about like preventative measures, dealing with burnout isn't just about what do you do when you burn out. It's how do you ensure that you're not going to get to that place. And the last week I have been very conscious of that, and yet I'm still going towards it. So I definitely need to give myself a day off soon. I do go for walks every day, which is nice to clear the mind, get some sunshine, some vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. I haven't really been gaming much. Then my console died at the weekend. My PS5 is fixed. Oh yeah, this story. So, this is another bit of housekeeping actually. My band, so we recorded new stuff February last year. And because of COVID, it keeps getting knocked back. We've just been given the green light, and pretty much in the next few weeks, you're going to start seeing and hearing new stuff. And I honestly can't wait for you to see and hear what we've got planned. It's huge. So I'm really, really excited about it. So I had a meeting. I've had to do a schedule of like what our release schedule is and stuff like this. And it was like 8-9 o'clock at night. My best friend Hugh, the guitarist, we were on a video call just going through everything, just needing to get the ball rolling. And I poured myself a glass of red wine. Hadn't had a glass of red wine in a while, and I thought, this is good. Red wine tasted amazing, so I had another glass. And this is during a meeting. And another, and before I knew it, it was like 9-10 o'clock, and I had a full bottle. That is definitely some ways that stress can manifest itself, is you just sort of go for something. I don't drink a lot often, and yeah, I was pretty drunk. And then I should have gone to bed at 11 o'clock, but I didn't, did I? So I went downstairs. I just fixed my PS5 by doing a factory reset, and I decided to go on this virtual reality game called Creed, which is a boxing game, and you can box people online. Now, I'm very careful to make sure I don't punch the TV, but when you're exhausted and you're drunk, your footwork isn't the best it can be. And so it was like there's 12 rounds in a boxing match. We got to round 10. It was like we'd knocked each other down twice each, and it's like third time, and then it's it. Round 10, and I took a swing, and I punched something in real life. And basically, one of my cameras downstairs, the sort of the shield at the front got knocked off. And so I took my headset off, and my hand was covered in what I thought was red wine. It wasn't red wine, it was blood. And I was such an idiot. You probably can see it there. Like it's healed quite a lot now. It was on my knuckle. Really, really painful. But burnout and exhaustion can manifest itself in other ways. It makes you start behaving in a bit more irresponsibly. Like I should have just gone to bed, but I was like, no, I'm stressed. I want to do something else. And that wasn't good. My question to everyone watching right now is, what do you do to relax? Is it a gear change from what you do for work? Is it very separate from what you do for work? Yeah, silly Myles. Very, very silly Myles. I was very, very silly. Yeah, new schemata theory is coming, honestly. Yeah, it's coming back. Honestly, I can't wait for you to see what it is. I've got some really cool stuff that I will announce, and I'll give you guys all the insights, definitely. So if you are into our music and want to get on the inside of it, I'll definitely help you with all that. Great. I always fall into the same pitfalls and end up burning out, and I know it's because with the heavy feeling that comes with it, I already knew how it feels. It's a vicious cycle. That's the thing, is once you're used to feeling burnout, you're like, well, I can deal with this, but it's not good for your health. It just isn't. So something I do, and I spoke about it on the last podcast episode, is flotation tanks. I was supposed to book myself into one at the weekend, but I didn't have a weekend because it was busy. So that's a great example, is I need this. You know, I need to just say, you know what, I need to put 3 hours aside just to relax, because you'll perform better in the long run. You just, you know, you feel, and it's because of this. We always talk about productivity, like being productive. And I've spoken about this before. I've seen posts on Instagram about, you know, just because you're being productive doesn't mean you can't have a day off. It's fine. And I was actually not with the rhetoric of that conversation. I was like, no, having a day off is being productive. Like, that is a part of a process. Having time off is good for you. It makes you feel better. It's good for recovery, and that will make you perform better in the long run. So it is really, really important. I jump on VS Code and program something to relax. Currently making Discord bots. It engages my brain just enough, but doesn't stretch me too much. That's cool. So yeah, sometimes it can be working on a project. Like, you know, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but like doing a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you might say, well, that's using cognitive processing. Is that going to stress you out? No, it's something else. Reading a book. When I go for a walk, I listen to Blinkist, which are these like bite-sized podcasts about, you know, life skills and stuff like that I find really useful. Might be going for a run, or, you know, playing with my band. So yeah, those can be really, really good. Hey Myles, sorry I missed the show again, but did something today I'm very proud of. I'm very socially anxious, but today I joined a new football team with people I don't know. It's hard, but I'm glad. Dude, I wanted to do this, but it's going to sound so patronising, but it's meant with sincerity. Maybe I need to get... Actually, no, that applause is all right. But no, honestly, dude, that's amazing. Like, what's really good about what you said, I'm just bringing it up on screen again, is... And by the way, don't worry about missing the show again. So you say again. Doesn't matter. It's not a repeating thing. This is on every week, and if you make it, you make it, and if not, you're not. And then I'll see you at the next one, or I'll see you here like you are. So all good. But it's the fact that you acknowledge the significance of you doing it. You said you're socially anxious, but you joined a new football team and it was with people you don't know. You said it was hard, but you're glad because you did it. So huge respect for that, man. Like, that will not just benefit you with the action of joining a football team in that moment, but that actually teaches your brain new schemas, hence schema theory, schemas that will train your brain, so in other situations you'll find it easier to have that confidence to speak with new people and stuff like that. So much love, man. Much love. No, totally. Are you going to put the Welcome to the Horror Show video back on your Schematic Theory YouTube channel? The song Horror Show will be making a return in some form in the future. That's all I can say. I like to read and listen to some chill music or podcasts if I am doing nothing in particular. If not, I binge some movies. Talking to a friend always helps too. Actually, that's a really good one. Talking to people, like just having a call with someone, especially during the pandemic where we're all very distant. I live by myself, can mean getting in dark places, but like just phoning someone and just having a conversation. Just kick back. Even though I was having a meeting about sort of work stuff regarding my band with my friend Hugh, we were just chatting, hanging out. I was on here at this desk doing it, and it was really cool. And like, I think that's why I drank a lot of the red wine, because I was really enjoying the moment, going, I don't normally do this. And I think the fact that I did do the full bottle is probably because I hadn't done it in a long while. So I enjoy drinking red wine, but normally I'd have a glass here and there. But because I haven't done it in a long while and I finally did it, my body's like, I've got to make the most of this now. So actually, it sort of plays into that thing about the things that you enjoy. Just make sure you treat yourself little and often. And I can't stress enough, if you haven't heard my last podcast episode, and I'm not just saying this to promote the podcast, I promote the podcast because I believe in the people I've got on and the conversations we have. But Matt Callanan talks a lot about how you start new habits and how you reinforce really productive behavior. So yeah, really believe in that. Discord, as kept you saying, can confirm talking to people helps. Yeah, I use Discord from time to time with the PlayStation Without Parole community that I help out. So definitely. Anyone else? I can't believe how quickly the time's flown. And yeah, look, we got to this topic very, very late, but we've had a lot to talk about. And to be honest, it's helped me get through it because I am absolutely exhausted. I'm yawning a lot. And I can't believe I'm doing a podcast episode tomorrow, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, after this show is finished, I'm probably going to go downstairs. There's a game on PlayStation VR I like called Corix. It's a real-time strategy game, but it's like really basic graphics, but it's just really chilled with the music. But as I say it, I'm kind of yawning, so maybe I'm not going to last. I'm looking behind me. Oh yeah, you missed my my box reveal. Let me show it for you. I got a limited edition 30-year anniversary Sonic the Hedgehog. This I ordered it at the beginning of the year. Sonic the Hedgehog diorama. And it is amazing. Honestly, I'm just so happy with it. The thing was, though, I ordered it right at the start of the year, and I'm so broke now, and I'm looking for work. And I'm about to get a new phone, because the iPhone goes on pre-order on Friday. And basically, I've got an iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 has done me well, but it struggles now, even with like Instagram stories, like creating videos and stuff, because it's 5 years old, it's worn out. And for what I'm doing now, I just need a faster phone. Also, I have to keep disconnecting from the Wi-Fi and reconnecting. Just lots of little things. Oh, there's a chip. There's a chip on the plastic. Has anyone got collectibles before? There's a crack on the plastic. It's really tiny. Is that something that's worth flagging up? Part of me thinks nah. Yeah, really cool. I'm really, really happy with it. And thank you. Thank you for the hugs. Yeah, man, I felt so anxious all day. I was literally shaking, but I always think that growth happens within discomfort, and that helped me push through. Yeah, I mean, on the discomfort thing, I always remember this from an activist. It was an elderly woman during Occupy Wall Street that got pepper sprayed. This sounds like really unrelated, but it totally is related. She said, like, she was asked why she did it, and she said she'd always learned in life, always live 1 foot out of your comfort zone. So normally we talk about like throwing yourself completely in the deep end. And I like her way of phrasing it, which is no, you always have 1 foot in your comfort and just put 1 foot out, you know? And it's just that mentality of like, you know, if you're struggling with it, you can always come back. But always, you know, your perimeter of comfort the horizon will constantly expand if you do that. So yeah, much love to you, man. That's really, really, really good. Cool. I'm happy to open up to questions. I mean, a lot of suggestions I had on Instagram about this was around, you know, going for runs, you know, doing exercise, things like that. Those can be really, really helpful. But for me, it's just about choosing an activity that is a gear change from what you normally do. Because as I said, it's not just about doing something you enjoy, because you might be enjoying what you're doing, which is going to burn you out. So yeah, I'm a bit hypocritical with this, because as I'm talking about it, I know that right now I should be having an early night. Do you think it's your mind or your body that will let you know you are burned out? Well, I think that the mind knows well in advance, but it's my body that burns out when I'm like, okay, I've got to stop now, because I just have to sleep, and I literally have no energy, and I sleep for ages. So yeah, it's kind of like I had a lot of heart issues a couple of months ago. I spoke about, I had an ECG and stuff like that. I think that was stress and anxiety related, but the reason I didn't detect it was because normally when I'm anxious, I feel anxious, and then it has a physiological sort of echo to it. Whereas on this occasion, I felt fine, but the physiological aspect of like heart palpitations and stuff, that was an issue. Hey, Ostinator, good to see you here, buddy. Yeah, if you're tuned in, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me out. And with 8 minutes left, are there any questions? And they don't have to be specifically about burnout. We can talk about anything. But the floor is open to you all. And thank you. Oh, wow. Can we get to 20 likes? Because I said I would open the box if we got to 20, and I've opened the box now. I love doing this show every week, honestly. And I think we've got 2 more shows until the end of the month. Let's have a look. Where are we? Yeah, so September ends on a Wednesday. No, it doesn't. Ends on a Thursday. So, cool. Next week, I'm not promising, but it's an ambition. Next week, we'll do a quiz. We'll do a quiz next week on here. And then the next week after is just a Q&A where we just chat about whatever. I have a question. Does that link to contact you on your website work? It does. I did get an email from you, and I responded to it earlier today. Let me just check. I mean, I don't normally do admin stuff on the live stream, but let's have a look. Because it might be that it sent it to my site. Let's have a look. Where was it? Yeah, I sent one earlier today, Austin. Yeah, I sent it to your email 7 hours ago. Hopefully you got it. I've been out of the loop for a while. How is life after the head injury? I mean, we're in a pandemic, so like that's quite hard. I mean, I'm feeling better. The question of like, do I feel back to normal? I'm never going to be able to answer that because I don't know what normal is anymore. But it's been a long journey for me, and I'd say that I've only sort of really hit my stride in the last 2 to 3 years. But yeah, much better now. How do I usually wind down at the end of the day? So I've not been good at this lately, but I normally pay attention to the birthday. Oh my God, my brain is so fried. I pay attention to the bedtime alarm on my phone, and that will be at 11 o'clock. And then I would go to bed, listen to some classical music, maybe do a bit of reading. And then I have a sleep cycle app that helps me sleep with rain music. And then I wake up 8 hours later. And that's kind of it. That's my wind down. But because I've been working a lot lately, normally I'll work late and then it's like do some gaming and then I go straight to bed, which is not good, especially if you're doing virtual reality and you've got a screen there. So, but that's fine. You know what? Sometimes you have things that work and then you slip. And when you slip, instead of beating yourself up about it, just say, no, we can do a blank slate, can start again. Start again at any time. Because by beating yourself up about it, you're basically getting frustrated about the past, which is not changeable. It's about what you do next. So why waste your future breaths on frustration when you could, invest it in more positive aspects? So yeah, I would say that. 3 minutes left. Are there any more questions and any more people going to give a thumbs up? Can we get 4 more people giving a thumbs up to this live stream? And also, give me feedback on these live shows in the comments section afterwards. If there are things that you'd like me to do, maybe as a regular feature, maybe I could structure these a bit better. We could do that. If there are topics you'd like me to talk about, we're at 17 likes. Can we get to 18 likes? Can we get 2 more likes? I wish the person that gave the thumbs down was here so we could convert them. Maybe they're waiting to be the 20th. I've already liked it, I think. Oh, man. Just a random one. Random's good, though. Random. What are my favourite movies and shows? Well, I'm looking forward to the return of Dexter coming up. Hi, whoever's just joined. Give the thumbs up on the live stream. We're trying to get it to 20 likes in 2 minutes. 1 like per minute. Can we do it? But in terms of movies, I'm looking forward to the new Matrix. I'm definitely hyped after the trailer. But if I was to list a few movies that I would really recommend, they would include Donnie Darko, one of my all-time favourite movies. I would recommend Vanilla Sky. I like Vanilla Sky, classic. Ex Machina or Ex Machina. I always forget how you pronounce it because, yeah. And in terms of TV shows, yeah, Dexter was great. The first 4 seasons. I used to love Lost. I haven't seen Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. There's a lot that I haven't seen. I've only watched season 1 of The Mandalorian, which was good. But as I said, I don't really watch as much as I should anymore because I'm just so invested in gaming. And that's good, man. Good to see you here. And just, same time every week. And it's just chilled. And usually on Monday or Tuesday, I sort of schedule it in. So it sort of puts what the topic is. But it's just been so full on. But what I would say is next week, I might have some news regarding my band. Yeah. possibly. And if not, definitely the week after. Cool. I love that. That dislike is just a like from the upside down. Stranger Things. I've been meaning to watch Stranger Things. Again, another great show that I've not had the chance to see. I love these shows, man. Always something to look forward to. Well, that means a lot, and it's always something I look forward to as well. I know. I watched episode 1, and because the episode seemed a bit longer, and it was because I was using a free trial of Disney Plus. But to be honest, I'm about to cancel so many of my subscriptions because this new iPhone I'm getting, I could buy it outright, but because I'm currently job hunting, I really don't want to put myself under too much pressure. So I'm probably going to do their monthly payment scheme. But I'm definitely looking forward to having a phone that works nice and fast. It's going to be good. I keep switching between whether to get the iPhone 13 or 13 Pro. I think I'm going for the 13 because the Pro is great, but it's like I'm not going to be a filmmaker on it. I just need it for social media posting and stuff like that. And it's going to be a great step up from the 7. I might have gone for the 12 Pro, but the 12 Pro is discontinued now because of the new models. So yeah, and also because I use an Apple Watch now, the amount of times like I have an app that tracks like what I drink, like I tap it, and the amount of times I tap it, and because my phone is so slow now, it just doesn't update on the watch, and so it's struggling. So yeah, cool. All right, everybody, we're going to end it there. Hopefully there's something positive you've taken away from this. A nugget of information or a tip or, just feeling of goodness, because I love chatting, and it's been really great to see so many familiar faces in here. Dean, if you're still watching, absolutely lovely seeing you here, dude, and I hope that you're keeping well. And yeah, next week I will try and see if I can get a quiz done. If not, we'll talk about something else. And then after that, it's the final show of the month where it's just Q&A chill. And it's just even more casual than this. But yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for tuning in. I still need to make an outro. To this live show, because just ending it feels a bit abrupt. But for now, have a wonderful week. Love, respect, empathy, and adios. Till next time.